I told you I was right. I have here in my hands a short history of nearly nothing. McCarthyism has turned into Islamophobia in the United States of A. Keep calm and carry on selling the idea that capitalism is better than communism, and that photo of Ernesto doesn't make sense no more. Greenspan's irrational exuberance is taking its toll, and the technological revolution means that our favorite fruit is a half-bitten apple. Welcome to the 21st century, but to get an idea of our future, you've got to look back at our history. After the Big Bang came Darwin's theory, which means that my great-grandpa was a monkey. According to the history books, a rare breed of these chimpanzees from Greece discovered democracy. Then a hairy beast called Socrates built a university, where he would study such as politics and philosophy. As Socrates liked to say, necessity is the mother of invention. So at the right time in history, the airplane was invented. But let's go back to that famous discovery by good old Chris, who was headed for India, but ended up finding what we now call the West Indies, the United States of Silicon Valley. A need for human labor to grow white gold, not processed cotton, on the banks of Mississippi led to a great demand for West African slavery. The rest, as they say, is too ugly. Fast forward into the mid-20th century, civil rights movements, King inspired by Gandhi, X by Islam, and Rosa Parks by a need to sit down. Then assassinations followed, including that from Cameron Kennedy. Fast forward again into 2010, and the outlook of geometry meant that those protests in squares in all major Middle Eastern cities, inspired by a man called Bouazizi, who burnt himself in frustration. Now rewind back to that Buddhist monk in Vietnam, who also burnt himself due to a lack of Buddhist freedom of expression. Let's remind ourselves of the cradle of civilization, Babylon, modern-day Iraq, or if you're American, the uncivilized Arab nation of Iraq. From all white gold to new black gold on the banks of Euphrates and Tigris. Now let's look at the first ever so-called company, the British East India Company, getting spices from East to make Western lives tasty. After all that time, we still love curry. Forward again into the 20th century, Apartheid South Africa, and the first person that springs into mind is world famous Nelson Mandela. Independence in 1994, 16 years later, host of the world. Click how you like, the Khoi sound proud, but those who zealous were tad too loud. Nostradamus could maybe predict our future because he looked at our history. Flying cars, maybe that's for the 22nd century. Now we live in interesting times of xenophobia, hedonist nationalism, or as Uncle Sam likes to say, I need you and no one else. Bad political ideology, economic inconsistency, and an uncertainty that is our present 21st century.